Welcome, jesters. I love this. Zohran Mamdani is running for mayor of New York. Right now, he is running in the Democrat primary for mayor of New York. But as we all know, whoever wins the Democrat primary will become the mayor of New York. His competition is Andrew Cuomo, former governor Andrew Cuomo. And, well, you know what? Even if it's just to beat Andrew Cuomo, yes, I think everyone on Team Trump, everyone on Team MAGA, every Republican should do whatever they can to see that Zohran beats Andrew Cuomo in the Democrat Party. Why? Well, it's very simple. I've said before, I made a video about this. These leftists need to really suffer the results of their policies. They have to suffer the results of all these kooky leftist policies. That is the only way that some of them, not all, unfortunately, but some of them will be blackpilled, and then some of them will begin to see the light. If you don't know much about Zohran Mamdani, well, I visited his website, and yes, it is as kooky as you could imagine, which is why I absolutely support him for mayor of New York. I'm sorry to my peeps in New York, but, well, you can make a choice. Either way, so apparently his headliner issue is freeze the rent. Just launched a big TV ad centered around this, and as we all know, building housing less economically viable is a clear and obvious way to increase the housing supply. So yes, absolutely, go in there, you freeze the rent. And not just what he's saying, rent stabilized apartments, why should they only benefit? Zohran, everyone should get the benefit of this policy. Everyone. Well, okay, fine. Maybe set the cap at $1 million of income or something like that. But yes, everyone's rent should be frozen. Absolutely. He wants fast and fare free buses because we all know how amazingly well and how much extra cash the MTA has to offer a service like this. Why didn't anyone think of this before? And can you imagine, free buses, how awesome that was going to be? I don't worry about overcrowding or poor service or anything like that. This is just going to work out so amazingly brilliantly. I can't wait for it. Then, of course, he's going to create the Department of Community Safety. That's not the police. However, I'm just curious because I thought defunding the police was supposed to fix the community safety. But now they're having to bring in the National Guard, so is the National Guard, no, is the Department of Community Safety going to replace the National Guard that's now in New York? I'm a little bit confused by this, but I'm sure this plan to redirect police money will work 100%. Then, no-cost childcare, because who needs parents? I mean, really, when you have the government of New York? Parents? No, don't bother with those things. Oh, and this is going to city-owned grocery stores. I mean, here, I know. He probably learned from Tim Walz in visiting China. And you know what? Zohran, if you get a research trip to North Korea, you know what? Take me with you. I've always wanted to visit. They actually have a nice little amusement park I would like to go to. Yeah, so if you want to do a fact-finding mission to North Korea to see how government-owned grocery stores work, then absolutely. Or Venezuela. Yes. They actually have a very successful system of government-provided grocery stores. Of course, only the very, 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 very wealthy can afford them, but I'm sure you are going to take care of that. Obviously, I'm concerned. And then, of course, housing for and by New Yorkers. Yes, increase the public housing supply because, as we all know, Cabrini Green and Pruitt-Igoe, they just weren't run correctly. That was the only problem with those government housing developments. It just wasn't the right people in charge. This time, the right people will be in charge, and it will absolutely work. And then, of course, cracking down on bad landlords. Again, didn't they do this 2 years ago or 3 years ago? Wasn't there an anti-landlord law 3 or 4 years ago that was supposed to fix all this? But I'm sure it will work this time. Then, of course, the coup de grace, the policy that is absolutely going to save New York, taxes on big corporations and the wealthiest New Yorkers. Because this whole thing about people moving to Florida, everybody knows that's not a real thing. Nobody's leaving high-tax New York for no-tax Florida. Why would anybody do this? That's just crazy. So yes, go ahead, raise those taxes. those millionaires, they'll just sit around and pay it. It's not like they can fly back and forth on their jet and they could just leave and not fly back. That would never, ever, ever happen. Never happen. Yes, there's absolutely no New Yorkers anywhere near Palm Beach. No, none whatsoever. So, yes, absolutely. I'm 100% behind Zohran Mamdani for mayor of New York. Team MAGA, this is our opportunity. Let's get him across that finish line, and let's get him into the City Hall of New York, or the mayor's office, or Gracie Mansion. I think that's what it's called. Absolutely. Because, yes, these leftists, they really need to suffer the consequences of their policies. You know I'm right.